everyone, and welcome to another edition of Health Matters. Because your health matters, we are committed to bringing you quality programming under a variety of topics to bring you information. But as you know, that information only becomes powerful when you act on it. So get those pens and papers ready to take lots of good information down, because I've got a wonderful guest and some great information for you today. But before we get started, I want to just let Matthew Sauer from Mattress and More know that he continues to stay in our prayers and our thoughts, not only to you, but to your whole family, because we are still remembering little Ben Sauer. Matthew has been a supporter of this program for quite some time now, and we want to support him with our prayers because that really does make a difference. And still now, before I introduce our guest today, I'm going to let you hear for yourself from our other sponsors.
Hi, I'm Michelle Giambardino from Face Fitness Skincare, a proud sponsor of Health Matters. We take pride in educating you on anti-aging solutions to help you obtain healthy, glowy skin. Continue to watch because your health matters.
Electronic Merchant Systems is proud and honored to bring you such creative educational television as Your Health Matters. We believe in we educate and you decide.
So I hope you have those pens and papers ready, because I am so excited. I'm going to introduce to you Jay Hosmer from National Resource Group, who's going to educate us on how coffee can be good for us, and I like that topic. Welcome, Jay.
Oh, thank you. It's a privilege to be here today. So.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you in part sponsoring this show today and coming on to share with our viewers such great information.
Yes, coffee's been around a long time.
Thank God.
The legend is that coffee was discovered by some goat herders, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really?
Yes, the goat herders were noticed that their goats were eating some plants and they were very energetic.
See, it really is true. Caffeine works.
Yes.
That's interesting. And you're going to talk to us not only about coffee, but this Reishi mushroom. And Reishi is a Chinese word, a Reishi mushroom that can be, or is in some cases, added to coffee to make the benefits even better.
Correct.
Yay!
It's called Reishi in China. It's called Ganoderma in the United States, and what they've done is, for thousands of years, it was originally used in teas and in soup, and then around the early 1980s, some scientists discovered a way to add it to coffee, something that we would drink every single day. For over 80% of the population.
Wow. And tell me a little bit about how the benefits of it inside of coffee, because we already know that coffee can really be good for us. Some of those studies that talk about Alzheimer's, I always talk about that. I say I was happy to catch a morning show one morning that said 2 to 3 cups of coffee today keeps Alzheimer's away. And I rewound. I was like, what? I had to hear that again. I was like, yay, let me go get another cup of coffee.
Coffee definitely has some great health benefits, but regular coffee has a couple of negative aspects of it. One is being very acidic. And another part of it is the caffeine as well. So, but the Ganoderma, the Reishi, has been around for over 4,000 years. It was extremely rare. It actually grew on only 2 or 3 out of 10,000 trees. Mm-hmm. And it was originally only available to the emperor and to the wealthy. The average person could actually be put to death if they were found to have the Reishi. That's how rare it was.
Wow. Amazing. So we're really lucky to be able to have it today, right?
Yes, it is. And the gentleman who discovered it and was able to reproduce it in a greenhouse effect, so that we could all enjoy it It took him over 10 years just to find it. That's how
Wow.
rare it was.
Wow. And you said explain a little bit about the chemicals that are naturally inside of the mushroom that makes it so beneficial.
Exactly. There are 5 natural chemicals that are in the Ganoderma that what they do is especially when you use them together, that's what gives it its super potency. That's why they called it the herb of immortality, or it was called the king of herbs. That's what made it so good for you.
And not only does it have some benefits that you're going to talk about with your dad and your sister that you experienced yourself, but you talk about how it helps to boost the immune system.
Exactly. They said it helped to boost the immune system, increase their energy, and basically let them live long and healthy. What happens is when you boost someone's immune system, a lot of times your body helps to fight off any of the diseases that may occur that attack us. It's actually recommended for people that have a compromised immune system.
Yep.
So if it's going to help them, what is it going to do for the average person?
That's so important. It's so important because when our immune system is compromised, and it can get compromised by all the things that we bombard it with, including stress. Stress is a big factor as well. Once that immune system goes down, that's when disease can sneak in. And you have a little story about what happened with your dad with acid reflux. I was going to say reflexology. different show. Acid reflux.
Yes. Well, my father died from cancer of the esophagus. My sister had some issues in her digestive tract too, and I'd suffered from acid reflux for years, so bad that actually sometimes it would actually be hard for me to breathe.
Wow.
And I had definitely concern because in my family history that I might be headed down the same road as my father. Within 2 months of taking the Ganoderma, my acid reflux went away, and that's what. And I started taking it for more energy, but the positive side effect was that acid reflux.
Wow.
Exited the building.
You must be really happy about that.
Yes, it's to be able to eat a slice of pizza or some spaghetti, or even when I drank a glass of water, at times it would bother my acid reflux. And just to be able to get a good night's sleep and not have to worry about that, it's just a true blessing.
It's interesting that you say that, because I notice, I don't know what it is, but when I'm out at a restaurant, I'm always drinking water. I'm out at a restaurant and I drink water. I might not even be eating anything if I'm there for a networking event, and I'll just be sipping on the water, and I start to feel like that acidic, or like I have indigestion or something.
That's from the acid in our body.
Rejecting the water?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing.
Which brings me to, doesn't this also help with balancing your pH? Because the acidic level, that's another very important factor, having our bodies be in a pH balance. And most of the time we're more acidic because of the different foods and the different things that are going on in our bodies.
Exactly. What it does, it helps to give when it added to, that's why one of the things that changes about coffee, regular coffee is very acidic. It's so acidic that it can actually eat away the enamel on your teeth.
Wow. Wow.
And so what it does, it will actually neutralize the acid and give it a neutral pH balance. Like I said, that's it takes away the negative aspects of coffee. Coffee has many other good aspects of it, but the few negative ones are taken away.
The mushroom helps that. That's why they talk about, when you say it takes away the enamel on our teeth, that's why our teeth start to discolor with the tea and the coffee drinking.
Exactly.
I just got that. See, you'll learn. You'll watch this program and you'll learn every day. That's pretty amazing. So your sister.
Yeah, my sister started taking the Ganoderma for extra energy. She works sometimes around 100 hours a week. And for her, she was looking for something versus a lot of those things that, you know, toxic energy drinks that are out there. So she was looking for a healthier alternative, and she tried it. And what happened with her was she didn't realize it, but when she was out of it, she realized that as long as she was taking the Ganoderma, her arthritis pain went away.
Oh my goodness. Wow. And how do you think that is related?
Well, that's from another one of the natural chemicals is the anti-inflammatory. The Ganoderma is considered an adaptogen, so it might kind of search out a different ailment in you than it does for me.
Oh.
So, you know, I mean, there are so many different aspects. The list goes on and on and on of where the Ganoderma helps. Everything from the acid to, you know, your body's electrical system, to helps people to focus, helps to, three of the chemicals actually help to reduce cholesterol.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So, and then when you put these all together, that they just, you know, it's like eating a ton of vegetables every single day, and most of us don't. Most of us
Oh
don't.
goodness, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
Yes.
That's a whole nother show, because we're, as we said earlier, our bodies are bombarded on a daily basis between, you know, the air that we're breathing, the food that we're intaking, also what we're putting on our skin. I always talk about that. That's our biggest organ. When we don't realize, oh my goodness, there's so much that we're doing to compromise our immune systems.
Including, to speak of the skin, that's one of the nutrients in the Ganoderma actually helps skin ulcerations as well. So, like I said, the list goes on and on of many different ways that it helps your bodies.
That's pretty amazing. I'm just wondering if there's, we're going to take a little break in another minute, and I'm just wondering if there's anything else that you'd like to add before we take a break and get out of these lights for a moment.
Sure. Let me just talk about, this is one of the most passionate and testimonies I'd like to talk about. Eugene in Syracuse. He works overnight, so he started taking the Ganoderma for extra energy, and he started taking it in the summertime, and then he suffers from a nervous system disorder, where here in New York State, when we had the icy cold winters, he'd walk outside and his hands would turn ghostly white within seconds. For him, when the winter hit, only the tips of his fingertips turned white.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, so sometimes it really will affect people very personally. It was funny because his girlfriend would kidded around. She joked around saying that now he's got to clean the snow off his own car.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Circulatory system too. Wow. So like you said, where your body needs it, it will go.
Yes.
Well, this is great information, so I want to make sure that you stay tuned, because we're going to hear from a few more of our sponsors, and we're going to come back with more testimonies and more information, because I want to know more about this mushroom. Lots of good stuff, and we're staying on the cutting edge trend to bring you that information.
Hi, I'm Joe DeMarco, founder and volunteer pilot for Wings Flights of Hope. At Wings, we know that health matters, and we are there to transport people when they need to travel for their medical care. We often see people that need to travel to other cities and get the best care that's available, and that's the purpose of Wings, is to never have transportation to ever stand in the way of someone receiving the best medical care available. Keep watching Health Matters and learn about all the things that are available to help people for a better life.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Will from Mr. Frank's, and I'm a proud sponsor of Health Matters, and I am very motivated and inspired by all of the information that the show offers.
Hi, I'm Jill O'Hara from Roads to Wellness, your holistic healthcare consultant and proud sponsor of Health Matters, where we bring you important information concerning your health. I know that most of us experience some distress or disease at one point or another, but I'm also aware that inside of us is a natural healer. I hope that you'll continue to view this program on your road to wellness.
So Jay, you brought some great testimonies along with you today, and I want to hear more about all this great things that are happening.
Well, let's start with one of our famous news, nationally world-known doctors. Let's get a quote from him.
That we all know and love very much.
Yes. And this doctor said on his blog, Reishi are known to be antiviral, anti-inflammatory, anti-parasitic, and anti-tumor. Reishi stabilizes blood pressure, protects the liver, and supports general immune resistance. This means that reishi is particularly useful for those with compromised immune systems like chemotherapy and HIV patients. So if it's going to help people with compromised immune systems, what is it going to do for the average person?
Very good point. Very good point.
Most of us, we don't like taking any type of pills or anything like that.
Because when you take a pill, for one thing, you have side effects, 45 other side effects. I love these commercials on TV now when they go real fast and they tell you all the things that are wrong and they go, and could cause death. At the very end, I'm like, really?
Exactly. My doctor said that some of the acid reflux medicine, they're doing research and they feel that some of the acid reflux might possibly affect your lungs.
Wow.
So once again, it's a pleasure not to have to take that
Absolutely, absolutely. When you can use natural all the way, and you have some other testimonies too. You were brought along.
Yes, I'll speak of one in particular. It's very close to my heart. My 12-year-old son. My son. I can't remember the last time that he had a cold. When he was sick. When kids go back to school, generally they come home and they have, they're getting all kinds of colds and things. But I can't remember the last time him or I had a cold.
Wow.
When we're sick. So.
Wow.
Also, we did a show in California, and one of the women came back there and she said within 30 days she didn't have to take any of her cholesterol medicine anymore.
Wow.
So she was pretty passionate about that.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Well, like we say here on Health Matters, that we're just reporting the news as we know, reporting the information as you have studied it so in-depthly.
Yes.
And that's what's so wonderful about staying connected with you on Facebook and on your website, is that you're taking all your time to study all this stuff, and all we got to do is get on there and read it and then get active in doing some changes.
Exactly. One of the things I was really looking for, I wanted to know when exactly what year did they start putting Ganoderma into coffee? So during that research, I came across a book that it's just a 64-page paperback, and it sells for $135 to $165.
Holy cow.
Yes.
And we don't have to buy it. We just have to follow you in all of your studies. That's really good.
Yes, I bought it so you don't have to.
Thank you.
But it was written by Kozai Matsumoto, and it took him actually 10 years just to find the Ganoderma, the reishi mushroom, or as it's called in China, lingzhi. It took him 10 years just to find that mushroom. That's to give you an idea of how rare it was. And it took him another 5 years to be able to reproduce it in a greenhouse environment so we can enjoy it today.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. And what's so important is you were talking earlier to me about all the different things that are inside the reishi mushroom and how it blocks and stops, and the acid, why it's so good in the coffee, because someone like me who loves my coffee, all the benefits for that. So tell me a little bit about that
Exactly.
too.
Regular coffee has some great benefits to it, but one of the negative aspects of regular coffee is that it's very acidic. So a lot of, when I do a health expo, or a lot of patients come to me and say, my doctor told me to stop drinking coffee because of the acidic in nature. Well, here's the good news for them, is that the Ganoderma neutralizes the acid and gives it a pH balance, so it's not going to affect them. The other thing that happens is one of the other chemicals inside is called adenosine. And what adenosine does, in regular coffee, the caffeine's just beating up on your adrenal glands. It's getting that shakes and the jitters. You get that spike in energy, and then that caffeine crash. But the adenosine blocks the receptors of your adrenal gland. So any caffeine that's in it, it's like time elapsed. So you get a longer, much natural feeling of energy.
Sustainable energy.
Exactly,
I like
exactly.
that.
Thank you for helping me
Yes,
out.
sustainable energy. And then I'm thinking about too, because one of the downsides for coffee is that it could strip some of the your bone density when women start to get osteopenia or osteoporosis. So even though that study about coffee being good for your brain, you know, I'm wondering if the things inside of this mushroom then helps with that as well.
Yes, you know, it helps with your electrical, your whole body's electrical system. The one of the other chemicals called organic geranium, and you know, people can do their own research on that as well. What I can say is, if you go to PubMed.gov,
Yes.
go to PubMed.gov and type in Ganoderma and say acid reflux or Ganoderma and breast cancer or Ganoderma and this, and it'll bring up, there are just
All the different
thousands and
things.
thousands of studies. It's been around for 4,000 years, so they've been studying it for a very long time. So it's the most documented and most studied herb on the planet.
That's pretty cool. I really love this information. And you know, Jay, I have to say one of the things that I really appreciated that I've learned, where I found you, you found me, is on the Western New York Heroes site on Facebook. And you know, I'm always talking to our viewers about, they'll call in or they'll email in and they'll say, you know, that they're depressed and how to get out of depression and not looking at foods and different things. And I always talk about, get involved in your community, do something good for someone else. And, you know, and that's what I found you doing on, when I found you on Facebook. We found each other on Facebook, and all the great work that you're doing in the community.
Well, you know, it's really a pleasure for me to help Chris and all the great work that they're doing with Western New York Heroes.